Hello friends, Romans, countrymen, or however you identify because you're fabulous and wonderful. I am going to be on a journey today. Not meaning like I'm going to go hike the Appalachian. My dad did that once, I think. I can't remember. I am going to be getting my hair done. It's kind of like the final phase of my transformation and to finally start my chapter of going back to school. And hey, let's say that it's the beginning of my chapter 30 of life. Gross. I'm actually doing my skincare. It's something that I'm trying to do as a self-care thing, which is actually segue into what my theme for what I want to accomplish in my chapter 30, which is I want to focus on me. I want to focus on my self-care. I want to focus on what I need to continue to stay as sane as I possibly can in this madness called life. If you know me from social media, you know how vocal I am when it comes to talking about my mental health and my struggles with mental health and my struggles with mental health in the theater industry. I would rather say community, but in this sort of jambon, it's industry is just a more fitting term. So we are going to focus on our needs, my needs. Aren't there like 6 pieces of a pie or 5 pieces that you're supposed to try to make balanced as much as possible? I feel like family has been a super heavy focus for me for a very long time, basically after I finished my undergrad. And now I am at a place where it's like, I need to focus on me and what I want to do with my life. And since I turned 30, I kind of have this bizarre feeling of like, whoa, I can actually do shit and not feel like I'm being watched. If that makes sense? I don't think that makes sense at all, and that probably sounds really creepy. Okay, so I was gonna do my makeup, but I don't have anything here. I thought that I did, but I don't, and I only have mascara, which is totally fine because I like keeping things minimal, so I shall wear mascara. So I don't know if other people feel like this, but I feel like within the arts, basically making big success before you're 30 is like the biggest feat you can make in your career. And if you don't succeed by the time you're 30, you are wasteless and useless, and you should stop trying to make your passion into a full-time career. Now, of course, that also kind of goes with the follow-up question of what defines success. I feel like you get to a point where you're like, oh, my success is rated based on my own opinion. But I feel like with some people, it all comes down to how you make your mark. And in theater, it's Broadway or bust. If you make it on Broadway, you're gonna get the career that you want for the rest of your life. Did that do anything? No, whatever. And if you don't make it to Broadway, then you're a failure and you should quit. I feel like that back in like the 60s, 50s and 60s, making such a huge success at such a young age was like very bewildering. Like, James Dean is probably the perfect example. He made 3 films, died tragically when he was 24, and was an overnight sensation. Whether or not his death helped with that overnight sensation, I don't think it was, just because his performing was just so, it was just very fresh, very unique at the time, and people were wanting more and they couldn't because he was super dead. I probably shouldn't have said super dead. I didn't mean that as like a, I'm overthinking. Like, it was bewilderment, a rarity back in the day, but now it's like if you get to that point, like you get a medal. Like all of the 30 under 30 lists that are made, especially in theater, I just feel like it's such a big deal making your break before you hit 30. I mean, Stephen Sondheim, around 25 at the time when he did West Side Story. If you're able to achieve your dreams before you're 30, you're automatically in the running of becoming a theater legend, per se. And yes, this is all very much in the aspect of Tick Tick Boom. A part of me wants to go into what Tick Tick Boom is, but I'm just going to assume that y'all know what Tick Tick Boom is. I don't want to be one of those theater geek assholes who have to like feel like they have to explain everything. I don't want to automatically assume that y'all don't know anything, you know? Like, that's mean and cruel, and I don't want to do that. That's just rude. And Tick Tick Boom, it's like the whole aspect of being 29 and not having done anything remarkable or momentous in your career as deemed by other people, you know, like as deemed by the world. Like, I've done things in my career that I would say is very successful for me before I turned 30, but in the grand scheme of things, it can be seen that I'm very low on the totem pole, per se. Vocal fry, I hate this. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm speaking low. It's because I'm at my mom's house and these walls are paper thin, and I'm like so nervous that I'm gonna go downstairs and they're gonna be like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, So like with my experience of trying to be a success in theater before I turned 30, I graduated from school a semester early. I moved to New York in January of 2016, and I kind of hit my goals of what I wanted to do within the first year, which was to get a show, any show, and join the Actors Equity Union, which is exactly what I did. But after that, it was definitely a struggle in terms of like trying to figure out what shows I wanted to do. My family was going through a lot of personal stuff, and I kind of felt like I really lost myself in the world of like wanting to please other people, feeling like I needed to figure out what other people want from me so that I can succeed in my career, to give them what they need from me. And that definitely led to a lot of moments of crying on the phone to my mom, crying on the phone to my dad, crying on the phone to my brother, just not understanding why I wasn't excelling in the way that I wanted to. And then we kind of got hit pretty hard with some pretty rough news late in 2018 in our family. And I was like, you know what, screw it. I want to just be as available to my family as I possibly can. I realized that I really enjoyed spending my summers in Vermont. Ironically, the time that I got back into directing again and realizing, oh, I really like directing, but then it led me to think I have to give up one thing to do the other. Like, I wasn't able to do both, if that makes sense. You know, which was kind of like hard for me to grapple or even conceive of the idea that I can do more than one thing. I don't have to be just an actor, which is so ironic to say, because once 2020 hit, I was able to kind of reconnect with myself, and I realized that I don't want to just be an actor. I want to do more than that. I want to direct, I want to write, I want to do documentarian work, I want to do dramaturgy work, I want to do literally anything. My dad told me this years ago, and I completely forgot about it until recently, that I will be happy in whatever job I do as long as it's within the world of theater. And he's right. He's absolutely right. So, you know, the pandemic was going on, and like doing any sort of theater was like kind of basically impossible. I tried doing virtual stuff here and there, and it was doable, but not that fulfilling. And I also got to the point where I was trying to get other sort of things in place of wanting to get like fellowships and assistantships in directing. But the main wall that I was hitting was that I didn't have my master's. So that's kind of where it led to me going to apply for grad school, because I finally was able to take 10 steps back and be able to look at the whole picture. I was about to turn 30. It was obvious I wasn't gonna get a Broadway gig. It was just obvious. I knew that I wasn't gonna be on Broadway before I was 30. And I kind of came to terms to that. But it made me realize, okay, well, what do you wanna do after 30? What do you wanna do with your life, basically? I realized that there were things that I didn't want. I didn't wanna live in fear every day. I didn't wanna live with the unknown of where I was gonna get my next paycheck. I didn't want to be one of those actors in their late 50s, early 60s going to open calls, because I've seen those people, and whether they're happy and fulfilled, I saw that and I was like, that's not what I want. I don't want that. I personally feel like if I want the life I want to go back to school, and I want to learn more about directing and learn more about being in a leadership position. Just get back to other aspects of theater that I really love and enjoy, figure out ways to be more creative and be more artistically fulfilled where it doesn't focus just on acting. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm really excited. I'm very excited about this. I was absolutely trepidatious about turning 30. I was absolutely terrified, mainly because I thought, oh, once I turn 30, like, I can't hit the button of like, my life is gonna be great moving forward. I don't know. I just feel like there's such a bizarre stigma behind it. And of course, like, I always rebel when my family is like, it's just another number. It's just another number. It's weird. I don't know if other people have felt this when they turn 30, but I turned 30. I didn't do anything for my birthday. It was amazing. I just slept and then went to dinner with my grandmother and my dad surprised me. It was amazing. I just felt like after that day, I was like, oh, I don't have this stress anymore. And also that stress was completely useless. A part of me thinks that it didn't affect my 20s as much as it could have, and I felt like I really did enjoy my 20s as much as I could. I always felt like that I grew up really fast, so I kind of treated my 20s as like just having fun and being a youthful, fun energy and making mistakes and learning from my mistakes and learning how to stand up for myself. And now I feel like I am at a place where I'm able to say I need to focus on my needs and what I want and what I want to do for the rest of my life, and not have it be so dependent on other people, which is hard because in theater, you are always dependent on other people. That's a very long way-winded of me saying that I am very excited to be 30. I'm very excited for my year, and I actually made some, like a little bit of like an outline per se of my chapter 30. I'm so witty. No, I'm not. I'm excited. I kind of thought that this would be a fun video to start off this relaunch of this YouTube majig thing of just focus solely on being a theater artist and what that's like and what it's like going back to school and just trying to be as artistically fulfilled and being as authentic as I possibly can be, living the life that I want. And so, yeah. So I'm getting my hair done and I'm really excited. My hair is basically already done. I'm just gonna get a color because I've been wanting to recolor my hair so bad. The thing with my hair is like, I grew up with a mother who would do all sorts of stuff with her hair. She would cut it, she would dye it, she would do whatever she feels like. I was always so envious that she was able to do that when I was a kid. And so when she finally allowed me to dye a strip of my hair blue, I was on the moon. I was on the freaking moon. Basically, ever since then, ever since that moment of dyeing my hair once, I would just keep playing with it. Like, I was always wanting to play with the color, with the style, with the cut. I was absolutely here for it. But then, you know, theater came along and I was told that I can only have it in one of three colors, blonde, red, or brown. I was told that it can only be one length, and I kind of felt like that it had to stick in a very feminine look, and I hated it. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I hated having long hair. Also, like, if you're an actor and you want to change your hair, I did not want to spend the money on new headshots. So I was like, do I chop my hair and live my dream, or do I just stay and save like thousands of dollars to not pay for new headshots? I did dye my hair blonde during the pandemic. It was a choice, but while I was in the process of recoloring it to my natural color again, I did find a certain tone and color and hue that I really liked, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And I promised myself that if I got into grad school, I will go to grad school and I will get the hair that I want. So this is the cut that we have been working with. It's gonna get trimmed. It's gonna have a much more sassy fade and whatnot, but then it's also gonna get colored, and I am so ready for it. I am very excited for it. I'm ready. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to do this. I'm excited. Yeah. Hello. It's been 2 days since I got my hair done. I'm back in New York. I just took my shower and I was about to take this off and I was like, oh wait, I can do a reveal like this. Ooh. Ooh, the tension. This is, as you'll probably already see in the thumbnail, and I already bragged about this on Instagram Shorts, but this, oh my god. Oh, I forgot I had a thing in there. Wow, this is the best reveal ever. But this is the final product. It's exactly what I wanted. It's lavender, it's gray, it's not boring brown anymore. Not to say that brown is bad. Oh my god, I'm sweating so much. I don't know why, but whenever I do my skincare, I just profusely sweat. I don't know what's wrong with me. This is it. This is the hair. This is the her. This is her. Her with her. Can we please talk about this mug that I found at Marshall's for $6 the other week? To explain how much joy this mug gives me, I literally can't. I cannot tell you how much joy this mug gives me. But the moment I saw this while on my checkout moment during my time at Marshall's to get a new bath towel, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. I love this mug. I love this movie. And I also love the fact that it's purple, which is my favorite color. Can you not tell? So, since I showed you the final product, I thought I would share with you my goals, my hopes, and my dreams of what I want to achieve during my chapter 30. So let's get into it. The main focus for this year is self-care. It's really never been a priority for me. I have always had it focused on my career or my family, and when it came to me, I was like, we'll deal with that some other time. So the other time is now, because I have no choice. So there are 3 habits that I want to basically reform. Originally I put down 3 habits to form, but this is a lot of stuff that I've been trying to get back on the horse of. My first one is that I want to get back to journaling daily. I took a spiritual focused creative course back in the beginning of 2021, and that actually helped me do morning pages, which is something from The Artist's Way. I'm actually thinking of actually sitting down and reading it. I started reading it years ago, but never picked it back up. And it's something that was taken from that, where you start off your day writing your morning pages, which is about 2 to 3 pages. I write 2 pages. And I was very consistent with that, and whether or not, if it was during the morning or not, I would just make sure that I would write 2 pages of journaling a day. That's what I want to do. I just want to make it a daily thing. If I can add it into my morning routine again, great. If not, I just want to make sure that I write 2 pages out, because I noticed that after I journal, I'm able to feel a lot more, I just feel lighter, and I feel like I'm able to help organize things a little bit, especially when I do it in the morning. I'm able to like do a super mini to-do list of things I want to achieve during that day. My second one is I want to get back to reading daily again. I want to get back to reading again in general. I used to have it as a thing that I do before I go to sleep, but I want to be able to retain the stuff that I'm reading about. And also I'm reading a lot of things in relation to theater history, and I want to be able to retain that knowledge. So when it comes to reading, I can't do it right before I go to bed. I think I'm going to stick with reading just self-help-esque books to read before bed, and I just want to read more. I used to read a lot, and I don't remember the last time I even read a book because I want to read a book. And especially since I'm going back to school, I'm going to be reading a lot. And of course, since I'm saying about reading before I go to bed, that also gets me back to my third habit that I want to reform, which is a consistent sleep schedule. I feel like this is like a general thing that all artists and all forms of it struggle with, which is sleep and having a consistent sleep schedule of some sort. I'm realizing very quickly, especially as I'm getting older, or, you know, since I'm no longer in my 20s and hip-hopping around from bar to bar, I am learning that sleep is incredibly important to me. But yeah, I just want a consistent schedule. I would love to be able to consistently get 7.5 hours. And also I just want to try to figure out ways to wake up and actually feel refreshed and feel like that I've actually slept enough to go about my day. I feel tired all the time, and I freaking hate it. There's also 3 goals that I want to obtain this year. One of them is to have a stable source of income. I got a work study for my master program, which is really great, but that means I'm also fully responsible in finding a job, so I need to look for one, and then I won't feel anxious in that department of my life, and that would be great. I want to have a successful year one at school. I want to have a good time. I want to get anything and everything that I can out of that program, and I really hope that I make good connections with the people in my class. My social anxiety is going flipping crazy about it, but I'm hoping that it'll be okay. Of course, I can't help but think the absolute worst is going to happen, and I'm trying to do my best not to think like that and just go in with an open mind and just have fun. Just have fun. And number 3 is that I want to maintain healthy boundaries with everyone. I have a really bad habit of putting other people's needs before my own, and since this is my year of self-care, that also means that I need to put my priorities first in situations, and I need to be okay with the fact that some people might get cranky and have a hissy fit over that, and I need to be like, you know what, that's their problem and not mine. And of course that doesn't mean that I'm not willing to compromise in certain situations. Of course I'm willing to compromise. Of course I'm willing to change things around if it is in relation to class and certain things that I need to get done. But I really want to make sure that the certain things in my life that are absolutely non-negotiable, like I have Monday night free right now, so I'm having family dinner at 6:30 every Monday night. It's a must for me, and that's a boundary, and that's a healthy boundary. And now 3 things to let go. I want to let go of negative self-talk. I talk myself down a lot. I think I just talked myself down already in this video. I just want to be kinder to myself. Negative self-talk is just not worth my time. It is not worth my energy. I feel like we're all better off without it. Number 2 is putting other people's needs first before mine. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, and I think I'm already doing that by going to school and also being a lot more vocal about when I'm feeling too depressed to do anything. And also I can't be ashamed to say yes to one thing and then having to change my mind later on. I want to lead the life that I want to lead, and if that means I'm going to hurt some people's feelings for not going to a party or going to some sort of gathering or show or I don't know, what have you, anything, and if I say no, I'm not going to feel bad about it anymore. My battery died, I had to change it. So I realized I didn't write down a 3rd thing of things to let go. The thing that immediately popped out when I said, what do I want to let go, is people that do not respect me. It's so easy to say that, but to do it is so, it's so heartbreaking, and it makes me want to cry because there's someone that I don't want to let go of, but they haven't respected my boundaries, my values, me as a person, and that's just saying this out loud just kind of confirms that I can't give them the, I can't do it anymore. It sucks admitting that I've allowed someone to do this. I guess that's what happens when you're too nice of a person and try to see the good in everyone, you know? But it's like, if you see someone you love deal with someone who is not giving them the time of day, you would immediately be like, cut that shit out, sis. I gotta be my own best friend and tell myself to cut that shit out. Cut it out. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. I also have a mantra. My mantra for this year is I put myself first. Honestly, out of all of this, I just really hope this helps me fall in love with theater again, because right now I don't love it. And I will talk about that in the next video. Ooh, the suspense! So there you have it. Those are my goals, my dreams, my intentions that I want to form during this chapter 30. Let me know down in the comments what y'all are hoping to achieve during this chapter in your life, or just for the rest of the year of 2023. If you are liking this content, please feel free to give me a like. Please feel free to subscribe and join this little community that we got here. May you be happy, healthy, safe, and at ease, and free from harm. And I will see you in the next one.